Hey everybody, how are we all? And happy Friday. Going to be covering today. Couple things like going to be doing a quick overview on a couple topics in regards to performance, but also I'm going to be asking you a question because now is the time to get some feedback from you guys as well. So, race performance tips video. It is coming closer to race time for us. I know we got some members in here doing Anaheim in about 6 weeks. We got Melbourne High Rocks in 7 weeks. And then, like those who are doing New Zealand as well, as about a month after that, right? So, as we get to this 6 weeks out, 4 weeks out kind of mark, right? This is where things start to get a little bit interesting because now we're switching from training mode into like race mode. We're getting ready for the event. So, what I want us to start to think about now, I'm going to be doing as well. I'm going to be doing a webinar, a special webinar that is going to be showcasing like a strategy evening night. We're going to be talking everything about getting ready for the race, right? Where I literally will go through each station, each run, how to pace it, a plan of attack there. We'll go over some rules, some things you need to look out for. So that is coming, right? So, but now, what's the one thing we need to focus on? Is we now need, if we think of like a peak, right? We know throughout the year, you can't be at this peak all year round. But now we want to peak out. So, what are the things we've got to focus on when it comes to racing, right? We got to focus on speed, right? We got to be fast. Now, training is about being repeatable. If you haven't heard me say it, repeatable, repeatable, repeatable. We always want to be able to do at least two of the same effort, right? That means it's measurable. If it's measurable, that means it's our fitness, and we then can prescribe and improve off that. So, real quick example, if you go for 1 kilometer run, rest 5 minutes, 1 kilometer run, you want to repeat those times. That means that that's a true measure of fitness. Versus if you only did it once and then you can't sustain that time, it's unsustainable, which means you over exceeded and it's not a true representation of your fitness. So when we come to a race, you're not going to do two races back to back. There's only one of them, right? There's only one for now. So what we have to do is understand that it's a non-repeatable effort. So training now, we want to now focus and prioritize speed and performance, right? Which might mean in training, if we take the idea of repeatable, you're going to push the level of repeatability. You're going to push the pace. You're now going to potentially fail repeatability because failing repeatability is not a failure. Like in overall, it's actually now information to refine and understand pacing. So again, if you know you can't repeat, the 1 kilometer, like you're running at a 5 minute pace, right? And then you do a 5 minute 20, right? Okay, well, that's data to know that you can't do it twice. So we can take that data and understand, well, for 8Ks, I shouldn't be running anywhere near 5 minute pace because I can't even do it twice. Example, right? So that whether we nail it or we don't nail it, it's always information that helps us move forward. So now that we have, if you've been doing some of the repeatability, you have ideas. Okay, I know what I can hold a ski erg at and catch my breath. I know what I can repeat in areas. Now we want to push that, go a little bit quicker, go a little bit faster, potentially find where the point of failure is. And as the workouts you will also see in the program start to become a little bit more high rock specific, like as in event specific. They're longer, right? They're more styled around what the demands of the event are. So in training, there's a lot of 15 minutes work, rest, do 3 or 4 rounds. There's, those things to build us. But then as we get closer to high rocks, we're trying to pull together, 60 to 90 minutes of work at once, right? So now we can start to, again, not replicate race intensity, but we can start to now go, okay, I don't need, we had to talk about this a few weeks back. I don't need to go heavier on the lunges or heavier on the wall balls. I now need to be using my exact Hyrox weight because I need to learn how to move that weight fast, right? I don't need to do all my potentially strength training beforehand. I should, in the program, I'll remove some of it, but if there is strength there, uh, and we spoke about this last week, is going, okay, I'm not going to do strength, so now I'm going to focus purely on just, executing the functional or the Hyrox session to the best of my ability, like example, right? So we really got to start to step away from training and now start to think of performance, right? Just this shift alone, right, will now start this performance shift. You need to now also think, okay, nutrition, right? My nutrition now, like, don't wait till last week out to get your nutrition dialed. You really got to dial it in now. And if you really want the best result in Hyrox, create consistency in your nutrition and don't change a thing all the way up until the race day. So if you like, let's just say your diet is X, right? And 2 weeks out, you're like, oh, the race is coming. Now I'm going to turn it into Y, right? Even if it's one little change here or adding something in, or it's going to cause a disruption. It really will. So we want to dial in that nutrition now. What also dialing in nutrition now means is that we can now remove anything that creates inflammation, or if we're holding on just a little bit extra weight, like if we can trim like 1 kilo of body weight, right? And this can be because of, like, let's just say some bad foods or some inflammatory foods. Let's say it's high in sugar or it's processed. This can hold water, like extra water. If we're eating too many carbs, every 1 gram of carbohydrate equals 1 gram of water. So just from cleaning up your diet, you could drop water dramatically, right? Dramatically, which means if you're a liter, like 1 kilo of just say water mass lighter, like that is going to dramatically improve your Hyrox just from that. Like these are the gains. So, and again, it's a bit of sacrifice. It's a bit of now, okay, I got to focus on it. But all these little 1%ers that you do is going to add to performance on the race day. Okay. Whew, there we go. We're getting closer, guys. So that's going to be really my tip for today is now I really want you to start to change mindsets, how you approach workouts, and really start to now push yourself as far as performing, right? But take care of yourself as far as warming up and cooling down and preparing for the day. Again, last video, last week, it could have been on Tuesday, we spoke about overtraining. So I don't want to add more stress to your life. So if this is potentially, and performing is an add, it's an addition, even that alone. So you need to also feel, if you feel like this is potentially starting to create like more stress or overwhelm or anything like that, then I want to give you the green light as well to subtract something else, right? That could be adding in an extra rest day. That could be shortening a session. That, it's not just a game of addition, add, do more, right? You need to take something else out, and that is totally okay as long as it works in the way of helping you perform better, right? Perform better. All right, so that is it. So, guys, also, this is the question I have for you, right? Want some engagement, want some feedback, right? Now that we are getting closer, for those who are getting closer, right? And if you're not that close to your race and you're still a while away, it's great. If you're listening here, this is exactly what we're going to get you to go through. You're going to learn how to prep your way closer as well. So what questions do you have? I know you've got to have some questions. What exactly do you want to know? Do you want to know more about the rules? Do you want to know more about the stations, little tips and hacks? Like if you haven't watched all of the Start Here videos, all of the Learn the Movement videos, I break down a lot of techniques in there. So there should be a lot of efficiency tips in there. And these things aren't just there for me just to like show you how to do movement. These are the things that are required for you to do in the race, right? To be the most effective and efficient. So if you haven't done that, go there. But let me know, because if you let me know, then I can be a little bit more specific with these videos. Again, we are going to be doing a strategy call, right? Which I'll put at a different time of day because I know these are sometimes hard for everyone to get onto because I really want everyone there before racing. So that would be like probably like right at start at like probably first week of December before Anaheim hits. And then, our race is a couple weeks later for those who are in Melbourne. So guys, that is it. All right. We're switching gears, right? And if you're still like, yeah, but Damien, my race isn't for a while, or it's in March next year, which we have a member here doing it there. It's like, understand that you're still in a training zone, right? So training is about that repeatability, and it's about working towards eventually it's going to peak here. So if you're already feeling like you're peaking, or the intensity is too high, or you feel like you're really going like 90+% effort in your training, you got to pull that down a little bit because we need room. We need room to then go pick things up as we come into the race, right? And this is what you learn after doing this, after, many Hyroxes and doing it year after year after year, is you learn how to refine that peak, right? Sometimes you overshoot it, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you're a bit underdone, but this is all about, refining as a person, as an athlete, and how those people, no one ever really gets it perfect the first go, right? It's about getting as best as you can. And definitely a lot of people who do it first time definitely aren't having conversations like this to really understand it. But just know you're always just going to get better every single time. So guys, appreciate you all. Thanks for jumping on the call, and I look forward to hearing about what you want to hear about more to help you with your race prep. All right, talk soon, guys.